And welcome back to American Agenda. I'm Heather Childers along with Bob Sellers. The president today held a virtual climate summit at the White House with major world leaders like Russia's Putin and China's Xi. Well, the Republican leaders have also come up with their alternate plan, why many Democrats are saying that this has a lot to do with race when you're talking about climate. Joining us to discuss is former Georgia Congressman Bob Barr and Democratic strategist Kelly Hyman. Thank you both for joining us. And Bob, I'll go to you first on this. Have you heard any of the details about the alternate plan that Republicans have drafted? We were speaking about that a little bit earlier. Do you think that that is even needed?
Anything that gets us to an alternative to the Green New Deal is worthwhile because the Green New Deal is the typical crony capitalism, throw money at the problem approach the Democrats have tried and failed at for many, many years. The Republican plan has some good in it. It does at least acknowledge that there is value in going to the free market for solutions, but it also throws way too much taxpayer money at the problem without really thinking through the consequences.
Yeah, Kelly, a lot of people say this is a lot of money to spend on something that private enterprise should work its way toward anyway.
Well, I think we need to think about our future. We need to think about our future generation. I think it's a great step that the Republicans are talking about climate change. We have to remember, under the Trump administration, they took climate change off the White House page. Trump said that climate change was a hoax. And then also the fact that under Trump's watch, we pulled out of the Paris Accord. So it's really important that Biden brought that back, and I think that's good. But I think we should work on the infrastructure and build back better.
You know, Bob, one of the other things that President Biden discussed today is this international climate finance plan. Do you think that that is necessary, and does that do a disservice to jobs here in the United States?
President Biden doesn't care about jobs here in the United States to begin with. And anything that smacks of or even opens the door just a crack to international organizations of the UN, getting involved in our domestic energy policies and environmental policies is going to simply be costly, non-productive, and it will allow China and others who are the world's greatest polluters to gain the upper hand.
Kelly, AOC was suggesting that the current approach to dealing with our environment is racist. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that. I think we definitely need to come up with a plan. I think Biden's infrastructure is great. He's going to increase the corporate tax and pay for it, corporate tax, and also build bridges. And I think that's really important. And Biden has said that he doesn't support the Green New Deal.
One of the other things that struck me today is our climate czar, John Kerry, and just going back to what you mentioned, Bob, there in reference to China, that even if we do reach zero emissions by 2050, net zero, that it wouldn't do us a whole lot of good.
It won't. These are all pie in the sky. I mean, they throw around these figures and these projections. It's just nonsensical. The only thing that you can take to the bank in all this, so to speak, is it will be very costly, it will raise taxes, and at the end of the day, it will not do nearly as much good for our environment as the free market would.
All right, Bob Barr, Kelly Hyman, thank you so much for joining us. Coming up, we're going to be joined by our all-star panel co-hosts when we return with more of American Agenda after this.